Okay, today I want to talk about, first I want to talk about Martin Luther. I wanted to touch for a moment on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It is important now more than ever to look to people in history who were courageous, who stood up for what they believed in, who lived according to their values and morals and were not swayed by anything other than their quest for what they believed to be just and right. And I urge everyone to dig deeper into Martin Luther King Jr. than just the quotes that you see on social media, deeper into his speeches, into the actual acts and protests and things that he led, and especially the things that he said about that we're not all about kumbaya. And if that is your impression of Dr. King, then dig a little deeper. However, I wanted to talk about specifically, there's a photo that I post every year on this day, which is a picture from a newspaper, a Denver newspaper, where it was Martin Luther King Jr., another minister, and then my grandfather. And they were all working together on some Baptist Week activities in Denver when Martin Luther King Jr. came to town, and my grandfather was a minister, and they got to work together. My grandpa drove him around for the week. And that photograph has always been a huge, it just influenced me in massive ways. Because, long before I understood the significance of Martin Luther King Jr., I had this picture. And so then as I start to understood this figure, and he became this larger than a human. I mean, he's like mythical. He's like Santa Claus or Jesus or Paul Bunyan. But because I had this photograph linking him to my grandfather, it humanized him, and it made it very clear to me that there was not this division between the great men and women of the world and in history and us. That any of us have the potential, by living powerfully and in integrity, to be these great men and women. And I just feel so grateful that I had this mental connection, and this, like, there was not a division between the great people and my relatives, and therefore me. And so as we are connected, I invite you to let that wall dissolve between those that are great and ourselves. And I think that's one of the things that I like to celebrate on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, is the celebration of the power and the influence of a single person, and also the minimal distance between that person and any one of us. That isn't to say that we need to go out and try to make a massive impact, but if we stand in our truth and are given the opportunity to either be corrupted or bend or compromise, but instead stand by what we believe in, take a stand, face the consequences, we have the potential to change the world.